Everybody, we are finally back with the CubeWP walkthrough. It is a little late. There's just 3 days left to go pick this up. That's why I'm kind of rushing this. I couldn't quite decide how I wanted to do it because I don't have the base knowledge required or the examples set up to really show you the power of CubeWP. But what I did do is go find an expert that can show you that. James here is going to be starting a YouTube channel all about web development, and CubeWP is actually going to be one of the main tools he uses. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in a video at the end of this one that is from him, kind of explaining the free version of CubeWP like I did in the previous video. He explains it quite a bit better than I do. That's why I want to highlight this. And he's going to be doing a run through of all of the other plugins. So after this video, if you do decide to get CubeWP, just look in the description, head to his channel and subscribe to that, and he's going to teach you all about that. He's got examples, he's got websites set up. It's going to be great. I can't wait to watch it myself and learn a lot about this stuff. We're going to play his overview at the end of this video, so stick around for that. For now, we're over here on crashtown.com where we have it set up. You can see it's still locked and everything, so we're going to go ahead and activate that real quick. And that actually unlocks everything within the CubeWP app. So if you remember, when we bought it from Appsumo, the deal covers quite a bit of different apps. So instead of going through each one, downloading each one, and showing you what they can do, because unfortunately, I can't really do that because I don't have a setup done. Like, for example, you can't really see the power of CubeWP Inbox without users and a website completely set up. And I'll explain that here in a second. We're going to run through each one of these. I'm going to give you a quick little overview of each one, and then I'm going to let James take it from here after this video. If you want more CubeWP content, definitely go to his YouTube channel and subscribe. He's going to be putting that stuff out very soon. For now, let's cover what's on Appsumo. It's for $49. You get access to all of the plugins. The tier 1 is what most people are going to need. Unless you're building websites for people and you do web development for a living, you're probably not going to have more than 5 specialized sites with this type of stuff, but I'll let you guys decide on that one. It is $49 and you get 5 licenses. So let's go over each one. So first up, we got Front End Pro. Again, I'm not going to be able to explain it as well as James is, but don't worry, he's got that coming out. So if you are interested in this, go ahead and pick it up. You do have a 60-day refund policy. If he can't show you enough content to be able to think it's useful at that point, then you can go ahead and refund still. You have plenty of time. It's the great thing about Appsumo, actually. So we got CubeWP Front End Pro. Mainly what this is just a more advanced version of the free one. It's going to allow you to set up user backends. It's going to give you advanced field builder and form builder on the front end. And it just lets you connect a whole bunch of stuff together. You got your advanced filter builder, advanced search builder, user sign up forms, user profile form builder, post type form builder, single post template editor, user dashboard builder. And just because you have CubeWP doesn't mean it's no code. You are going to still probably need to know a little code, or at the very least be able to know what to ask ChatGPT for. So just keep that in mind. And it literally says that on here. Basic HTML and CSS knowledge is required. And remember, CubeWP is actually just a drag and drop system for the most part. It is very simple to use once you understand what you're doing. And that's where James is going to come in, so don't worry, he's got you covered. The next one you're going to get is the form builder. This is just building on top of the CubeWP framework. It just kind of gives you a few more extra options, as you can see down here. I'll let you go ahead and pause over that and read it if you want. Gives you more custom field types. And all these are just the part of the CubeWP family that's included. Next up is the CubeWP Inbox. What this is going to do, it's going to allow your users on your website be able to connect with each other and talk with each other. Just think of it like the Facebook Messenger style. Maybe not quite that advanced. I don't know what the limits are of this, but that it would be something similar to that. It'll give you just an on-website communication system. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can attach files, so it's not quite as good as the Facebook Messenger in that case. And next up is CubeWP Reviews. This is the one that's really got me excited. I think I'm probably going to have this one on Marketing Reviewed eventually once I actually start working on that website. This just gives your users a rating system for your website. Looks like pretty much anything you want to set it up for. You can have them review and rate other people. You can have them review things, add reviews to products, stuff like that. This all kinds of different review things you can do, and that's what this is going to unlock. You got CubeWP payments, and to combo that, we're actually going to include the wallet in this one. So you have CubeWP payments and CubeWP wallet. That gives you a wallet system so they can deposit money, and you can have them use that cash on their wallet instead of having to pull out their credit card every single time. Just makes things easier. The big problem with CubeWP payments, in my opinion, is you still need WooCommerce. I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of that. If you're going to make a specialized plugin, at least make it standalone. So that's my biggest issue with CubeWP payments. And I do have a little bit of a qualm with CubeWP wallet as well. I feel like they missed a serious opportunity here. This is just a wallet for money, unfortunately, or a website-based currency, as you could probably do as well, but it is not Web3, meaning there's no way to connect it to the blockchain as far as I can tell. I could be wrong there, but I don't think I am. Obviously, if you have questions about that, make sure to ask James when he posts about it. I'm pretty sure this is on his list of things to cover. Next up is CubeWP Booster, and looks like this just allows you to kind of promote, and it's an ad-based system. It lets your users promote their own stuff. Say if you have a game rating system, and it's for people that create their own games, they could log in to their backend, put their game on their list of where you rated it, and maybe you have a system where they can do a boost or a promote for extra traffic to their game, and it will post it right at the top for a certain amount of time. That's basically what this is. You could also compare it to the boost post in Facebook. That's the type of thing this is. So that's what that allows. So that's pretty cool. It gives you a way to monetize users. CubeWP social logins. This one is awesome, and I think everyone that has a user-based system should have this. What this does is it allows the users to, instead of creating an account, it just allows them to log in with Google or Facebook. And that's huge. And if you're anything like me, you probably use this quite a bit. It's just easier than putting in all your details. I don't like doing that, and I highly doubt a lot of other people do as well. So this is huge. It lowers the barrier of entry in my mind. Next one up is post claim. This one's I'm not 100% sure of, but it seems like Google My Business type thing. Again, I could be wrong, where you cover something on your website and the owner or somebody can come in and claim that. I could be wrong. There could be a lot more to this one than I understand, but this would be one of those ones I can't really help out much on. I don't quite understand this one. Next up is the CubeWP bulk import. And I think this one's going to be huge for developers because it doesn't just give you the ability to import everything. It gives you the ability to select what you want to import. So say you have a website that you want to move over to another website, but you don't want to take anything except for the blog posts. You could take just the blog post and move them over and have everything else be completely brand new. Or you could take just the pages and not anything else. So it's basically I think they named it wrong. They should have added CubeWP custom bulk import, and I think that would be a little more impressive, I guess. I'm not sure what I'm going for there. But yeah, bulk import seems pretty cool. I think it's one of their free plugins, though. So you might be able to use this even without purchasing the deal. So that's the basic coverage of everything you get in the deal as of now. That being said, they do have two more that are going to be added to this list, which is CubeWP Booking. So you can have I believe that's a calendar system to where you could book appointments and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. And then CubeWP WooCommerce. I don't know what that is, but I'm interested. I'm hoping it replaces WooCommerce. I doubt it, but I'm hoping that's the case. We'll see. The video at the end of this video is going to be James. He's going to show you a little bit more than I showed you and kind of give you a taste of what's going to be on his channel. And it's super cool. He's super in-depth with it. I really like the way he teaches. Hopefully you got some ideas on what you can do or what you can build with this. And remember, James is going to be showing you a lot more on this. Definitely go pick it up before the days are out. You got 3 days left to go check it out. By the time this is posted, you'll have a little bit less because I am an extremely slow editor, unfortunately. You do get a lot with this. You're going to have an idea of what you want to be able to put this to work. It's going to take some work to learn. Just know that. In the end, it's going to be way easier than doing it pretty much any other way. This is the only plugin that I've seen that combines all of this together. There's a lot of things that you can do with other plugins, but they're all very specific, where CubeWP kind of just opens up the world of web development to you instead of just forcing you down one particular path. Classified ads website, for example. You can do that with plugins. There's plugins out there that let you do that. CubeWP is going to let you do that, and you're going to be able to make an auction-based website, and you're going to be able to make a job posting website or a job board website. You're going to be able to do all of that with CubeWP instead of having to get a different plugin for each one of those. And if you're a web developer, you can go all the way up to tier 4. You can develop 500 different websites with this thing. And it just opens up so many different types of builds to add to your collection. So really cool. Go check out CubeWP. But right now we're going to jump over to James. He went ahead and sent me a video that you guys can kind of check out to see if it's something you want to tackle. He gave a great example in this video. I'm not going to spoil it, so I'll let him do it, and I'll be back in a second.
Thanks, Jake. And as your audience may well know, CubeWP is a dynamic web framework for WordPress that allows users to create dynamic websites such as job listings, classified ads, portfolios, and so much more. So in this video, we're going to answer that question. But before we get to the answer, allow me to introduce myself. My name is James, and I'm with the Directory Devs YouTube channel. On the Directory Devs YouTube channel, we provide tutorials and reviews of a variety of directory software and themes to help you make a better decision. Now let's head over to the screen, and I'll show you how CubeWP can help you with your websites. Let's take a deeper dive into CubeWP. The question that is on everybody's mind is CubeWP something that I can use? It is definitely something that can be used by a wide variety of people, including bloggers and entrepreneurs. In terms of what can they do? Well, for our entrepreneurs, they can make a variety of sites, including portfolio sites. If you're an artist or a photographer or a designer and you're wanting to show off your work, real estate. If you're a real estate agent or an agency and you're wanting to show off the available properties, job listing sites for recruiters and recruiting agencies, podcasts or video series for those who are hosting podcasts, which a lot of bloggers are doing nowadays. Classified ads, if you wanted to provide an end user experience for them being able to post and be able to purchase products through a classified ad system, you can do that. And there's many, many more types of directories or listings that you can use. Now, as far as our bloggers, product reviews. When you start looking at bloggers, a lot of them like to do product reviews, affiliate marketing. Well, you can have your product reviews inside of its own dynamic post type within CubeWP. Recipes, podcasts, again, we had talked about the podcasts earlier. Travel destinations. If you're a travel blogger and you're wanting to separate your travel destinations into its own post type, you can do that with CubeWP. Event calendars, capturing dates and times for appearances or events, and even book reviews. The list goes on and on. So if you wanted to take a look at what something like that would look like with dynamic data, here is a website that I actually built. And you can see here that it is essentially a website for consultants and has job postings. This is all dynamic data. This is data that is inputted in by end users, and it's displayed here based upon various criteria. This is stuff that can be easily done with CubeWP in creating dynamic websites. So to talk a little bit more about the custom post types that we'd mentioned earlier, those are available within the free plugin with CubeWP. And so if you can install the basic plugin, the free plugin that's available, you have the ability within that to create your custom post types. Like I had said before, that you have the ability to use post types to segregate your data. That way, not everything is hiding inside of the post. So if you wanted to do stuff like podcasts, well, you wouldn't want your podcast episodes and the information for that to live up underneath your post when you're writing regular blog articles. So you can create a custom post type. And so here we go. We add in a new post type for our podcast. So for the slug, we'll put in podcast, plural, podcasts, and the singular podcast. You have the ability to write a quick description for podcasts. And then you can select an icon that it would designate. So for here, we would want to do a microphone for the podcast. So you would select the microphone, and then up here, you have the dash icons dash microphone, and you can copy that there and then paste it over into here, and then that will add that in as the icon. And down here, CubeWP does a really good job of creating what we consider as default settings. And for the most part, you'll definitely want to use the default settings for what you're trying to do. In here, I'm just going to leave everything as it is. Over on the right-hand side, we have the options for the edit post. It's capturing the title, the editor, the featured image. I typically want to capture the author as well. So I'll go ahead and select that and then click Save. And so it creates a custom post type within here. And if you look over here on the left, right below the post, you'll see podcast with the microphone. And you have the ability to add in new. To make it a little bit more valuable for you, the next thing you want to do is you want to create taxonomies to help you further segregate your data within that specific post type. So if we go underneath there, we kind of think about, well, what do we need when we're talking about podcasts? Well, series or seasons. One or the other is something that you usually keep track of. So what we're going to do is we'll add in a taxonomy for seasons. Plural would be seasons, and then singular will be season. Down here in the bottom, there's additional information that CubeWP does a really good job of creating as a default. Now, one of the things that we want to make sure is from a taxonomy perspective, when we think of taxonomies, we're thinking of categories and tags. As you can see, when you look here, you don't see there's a switch or a choice of whether you want seasons to be a category or if you want it to be a tag. The way you would adjust that is by using this hierarchical. I hate that word. Hierarchy. So you would select that. So if you select true as a hierarchy, then that creates it as a category. If you choose it as false, then it becomes a tag. So for seasons, we're going to leave it as true. Over on the assign post type, we are going to select podcasts. And we're going to click save. So we have seasons in there. Well, what's another one that we want to keep track of? How about episodes? So let's add a new one. We're going to do episodes for this new one. Again, do the plural for that and then the singular. Now, one of the things that I really would like to see in terms of improvements for this is to not have to input in these singulars and plural formations of these, that if you put in the slug, it should automatically do it. That's just something that I'd love to see it done. So for the hierarchical, I'm going to select false on this one because I want it to be a tag and not an actual category. Again, select podcast as the option and click save. So now when I come up here to podcast, what you'll see seasons and episodes. So let me go into seasons and we're going to do season 1, season 2. We've been around for a while. And then under episodes, we're going to do episode 1 and episode 2. So now if I go in here and I click on add new, so that I'm going to add in a new podcast episode, what you'll see is over here on the left-hand side, you'll see seasons. And because I had said that it was true as a hierarchy, we have the check boxes like the categories. But since the episode was selected as false, it comes across as being a tag. So we can select season 1, and then here we will have to type in the information in order to select the appropriate episode. And of course you can add things by typing it in and hitting the enter key. That's how you would be able to set your data over on the right hand side to the way that you want to. I personally prefer to have it as categories instead of tags, just simply due to the fact that you can see it and it's just a simple checkbox. Other things that we have within here with CubeWP is we have custom fields. And custom fields can be used for post types, taxonomies, user roles. And so when we start thinking about it, like we're thinking, okay, our podcast, what do we need to have data-wise that you can't capture normally? And so you would come in and you would go, okay, well, within post types, I'm going to create some custom fields to be able to keep track of additional data. So in here, it would be name the group, because you got to create a group. So I'd create a podcast info, and then under adding a new field, you would add in a new field, episode number. We have it tracked on the left, but we may want to track it down at the bottom. Field name, you can see here that it defaults in a CWP field. This is not very good for being able to track the data on the downstream. So I wish that this was not something that was defaulted in, that it was actually, it used whatever you put in for the field label as the basis for this. You can come over here and you can hit the little lock icon, and then I like to change this. So instead of it being the underscore field underscore whatever, I would do episodes. Field type, you have a choice of a lot of different field types to choose from. Since this is the episodes, you can choose number or text. Either way, it's however you want to do it. If you want to track your episode numbers alphanumerically, then you would select text, of course. So I'm going to select it as text. Description, again, you can write a description for it. Your default value, whether or not you want to have a default value in there. Put your placeholder here, and then character limit, if you want to limit the amount of characters that a user can put in. Again, down here at the bottom, you'll see the same field. Again, I would update this to match what's up there. And it's just a lot easier to be able to keep track of exactly what it is that you're doing. The MetaBox field size, it's at 100%. If you do one half, it'll be at 50%. So I'll do it at half. We're not going to do any conditional logic or the REST API. I'll go ahead and add in another field. So let's think about another field that we would want to keep track of. Platforms. So you want to keep track of the platforms that your podcast is currently being listened to on. So you can come in here. Again, we're going to change this where it makes more sense for us. And then for the field type, we want to be able to change or select what we're wanting to do in terms of the platforms. And if we have more than one, well, we could select it as a checkbox. And so when you select it as a checkbox, you can see that now you get an options here, and you can input in what the label is. Spotify, value, Spotify, Apple Music. We'll just go with just the two. So you've got it on Spotify and Apple Music. Down here at your ID, we will set it the same as we did up here under for platforms, and we will set that to half so that it only takes up 50% of the screen. So those are the two that we want to keep track of. And then over here on the right-hand side, you see that it says assign to post type. So we want to make sure that we select podcast as our post type that we assign it to. Now, because we had entered in both tags and categories within our taxonomies, you have additional conditional logic that will pop up, which is really nice. So if you wanted to just have episodes in for season 1, you could select it. And that way, if season 1 is selected, these would pop up as additional fields for you to do. We're not going to deal with that right now, but it is something that is optional. So if you wanted to kind of get down to specifics based off of the data that you're wanting to put in, you can easily do that. So I'm going to save this group. Oh, I got to put in the identifier. Let's do some podcast info. Now let's save that group. So we have podcast info. So when we go over here to podcast, you see that it doesn't appear. But when I set to add a new one, what you're going to see is your normal stuff, your tags, your categories, and then down here at the bottom, you'll be able to see those fields that we created. Here you have your episodes, so you can add in, CWP EP1 for episode 1. And the platform that it's going to be on is going to be Spotify. And then you can add in whatever information you wanted to. Talk about CubeWP. Do a little bit of lorem ipsum text here. Season 1, episode 1. So once we have all that information, we can click publish and publish. And when you go to view it, you'll see that the default that comes with CubeWP, the title will be here. There's a share icon for you to be able to share, save, for people to be able to save it as a favorite. Here's the description information, and then your episode and platform is listed at the bottom. And your tags will be over here to the right, as well as author information that you have coming in. One of the good things that you can do with this is this particular page, which is, they call it a single post, is editable within Page Builder. So if you have Elementor as a page builder or Gutenberg blocks, any of those that allow you to do a single post, you're able to create those. And so you can redesign this to be a little bit more towards what your branding is. So it's definitely something that you can do. Some of the things style-wise will require some knowledge of CSS, which is kind of a con when you talk about the CubeWP, because it is not a no-code solution completely. It does have the necessity to have some coding added in with CSS, but not a lot. So should you get it? Definitely. If you want to learn a little bit more about CubeWP, on the Directory Devs YouTube channel, we provide tutorials and reviews of a variety of directory software and themes to help you make a better decision. As always, I greatly appreciate your time. I hope that you learned a lot, and I'll turn it back over to you, Jake. Thanks.
All right, that's James, and remember, I'm going to have his channel posted down below in the description. Go check out his channel. Hopefully he's got something up by the time this is posted. Subscribe to him. Make sure you hit the notification bell on his YouTube channel so you get the alerts. And he's going to be teaching you all about CubeWP. He actually has a couple of other things on his list of to-dos. I'm trying to convince him to do a start to finish build. We'll see if I can convince him to do it. But definitely go check out James's YouTube channel, and we're all going to learn a lot together. We'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.